today by improving your art fast. Step 1. Have a goal in mind. Just make sure these are short-term goals that are easily achievable, and not long-term goals that are much more difficult to achieve. Visualize a clear image of what you want your art to look like in, say, 1 month. And if you're having trouble doing that, then it's a good idea to study other people's works. Which brings us to Step 2. Study, study, study. First, study the fundamentals. These include line, shape, form, color, value, texture, and space. But the important stuff, in my opinion, are shape, form, color, and value. And I'm not just saying this because I don't do line art. Think about it. You can't draw a cube if you don't get the shape right. You just end up with a rhombus instead, and you have to understand the form too to give it that three-dimensionality. Neither can you determine the texture of the cube without first determining the colors and values. Study other artists. I personally love to study artists that have a similar art style to mine. And even those TikTok art pieces you see every now and then with that ethereal art style. However, don't just copy professional artists. Study intentionally. Try to understand why they do what they do and what methods they use to do it. Why is the background darker than the foreground? Or why is light from the background being reflected onto the skin, which is known as ambient light or ambient occlusion. It also helps to know what art programs they use. I use Ibis Paint, but some others might use Photoshop or Clip Studio. Okay, next, study references. You can use your imagination to draw, but think of it like this. References are the answers to a test, and how stupid would it be to not study for a test that you already have the answers to in your notes? Using references isn't cheating, and any artist that thinks it is actually cheating themselves. For finding references, you can use Pinterest, but I've also heard of an app called RedNote that's basically just like Pinterest. You don't want to use AI as a reference though, because AI often makes anatomy and writing mistakes, which could tarnish your drawing in the long run. So to stop being shown AI-generated content on Pinterest, go on your profile, then go to Settings. Then, refine your recommendations and then turn off all the sliders under Gen AI interests. And another thing, studying more complex references helps to improve your technique, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So the best thing is to study one thing at a time until you get the hang of it. Instead of studying how to draw Shrek's peak physical proportions, study how to draw the shoulders first. Doing simple exercises like this helps your brain learn faster than attempting to draw a full illustration. Step 3. Less is more. Simplifying your process is key to improving quickly. But what do I mean less is more? And what exactly should you simplify? It means just get rid of what you don't need. Don't overcomplicate your workflow. Like the method I use is to go straight to blocking out shapes and colors without a base sketch. It might not work for everyone, but it works for me, and helped me focus on more important stuff. I also work on only one layer and add a new layer only when I don't want to mess up what's on the current one, or if I want to add an effect. And after that I merge it back down. Simplify your brushes too. Beginner artists think that plenty brushes is where it's at. But truth is you only want as many brushes as you need. That's why I mainly use 2 brushes, which are a hard square brush and a soft air brush, excluding texture brushes of course. Break difficult shapes into simpler shapes. You can turn most complex structures into simple boxes, triangles, and circles, like so. I always do this in my head, but if you're not goated like me, or you're having trouble, you can draw them on your reference. Then translate that onto your canvas. I don't recommend tracing, because it's lazy. I also don't recommend color picking from the reference. Instead, try to accurately determine where that color is on the color wheel. This is so much more helpful if you want to get better at choosing colors. 4. Get feedback. Basically, you want to show your art to other people. I know you don't have any IRL friends, so your best bet is to post online. I recommend joining an artist Discord server. Post your art on there and ask for their critique. Before long, someone will be sure to reply to you. But remember, most people would be most people, so don't take all the advice and tips you get at face value. Last step, go practice. Sounds simple, right? That's because it is. Just keep at it and you'll definitely become better. Common drawing practices include doing quick 10-minute studies in your free time. These can be anything really, from faces to hands, feet, poses, or whatever. Some might even recommend carrying the drawing tool you use with you, so you can pull it out whenever you have a burst of motivation to draw. Everyone says just draw every day. It doesn't matter what you draw, as long as you keep drawing every day you'll improve. While there is some truth to this, I don't completely believe that. I strongly believe in quality over quantity instead. So next time you do a new piece or study, make sure you're working outside of your comfort zone. Time challenges. If you're like me that spends a lot of time on one piece, time challenges are a great way to help improve your speed. You can start by giving yourself only 1 to 2 hours to complete an illustration, and reduce the time as it gets progressively easier. So yeah, that's it. You're a better artist now, but only if you listen to what I mentioned in the video. To sum it up, set a goal, study references and others, simplify your process, get feedback, and keep practicing.